Over my many years of making videos here on YouTube, I've taught you guys how to play some of the coolest themes in horror movie history, like Tubular Bells from The Exorcist. The awesomely creepy theme from Nightmare on Elm Street. And my fingerstyle arrangement of the theme from Candyman. As well as a ton of other classics that we're going to talk about in this video. But what can we learn by mastering these horror movie classics? That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey there kids, it's your ghoul buddy, Uncle Ben. So a million years ago when I started the Weekend Wank Shop series, every October I would set aside a few weeks to teach you guys some of my favorite horror movie themes. I'm a horror movie maniac, so there was a whole lot to choose from. And some of these episodes date back like well over a decade, so I'm sure you guys haven't seen all of them. On today's video, we're going to go back over some of those and talk about some of the amazing things you can add to your playing by mastering them. I'm going to be putting up episode guides on every one of these clips to tell you which episode of Weekend Wank Shop to check out to learn that song. But if you want to get even more out of this video, as well as downloadable tabs for every single one of these pieces, be sure to head on over to my Patreon page at patreon.com/BenEllerGuitars. It might be the best guitar-related page on Patreon, or a small cult. It's up for you to decide. Sign up today even for just $1 a month. It's going to get you access to hundreds of exclusive posts, so don't delay, sign up today, and I'll see you over there. Now, let's get into it. A lot of times the composers of these horror scores will use odd time signatures to create kind of a sense of unease. There's sort of an unpredictability whenever you use odd meters in your writing. And this is something you can pick up on whenever you learn stuff like my arrangement of Tubular Bells from The Exorcist. The main theme in that alternates measures of 7 and 8. You could also just count it out as 4, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Playing in that shifting odd time signature is even tougher when you add in the right hand tapping harmony. Check it out. Another great example of odd time is John Carpenter's theme from the original Halloween, which is all measures of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's that off-kilter odd time thing that adds in that element of unpredictability to the sound. Check it out. Another cool idea that I picked up from horror movie soundtracks is the use of a static melody line with moving bass beneath it. Let's say you have a simple melody line, like this. Now, depending on what bass note we put behind it, it can completely change the definition of how our ears perceive that melody. For example, with the A note in the bass, it sounds like this. Kind of somber, right? But if I change it to a G note, it kind of sounds sort of major and hopeful. Maybe an F, uneasy and dissonant, and so on. Bass is boss. Whatever is happening down low changes the definition of how we hear melodies going on up high. If you really want to hear this in action, check out Godspeed You Black Emperor's theme to 28 Days Later. You'll notice how it has that same dreary melody up top, but the bass note changes and kind of gives it a different character from measure to measure. Another great example of that is the theme from Phantasm. Now you can take that exact same thematic concept and Missy Elliott style flip it and reverse it. Have a moving melody up top and a static droning bass note in the bottom. It can sound really haunting if you do it right. And one of my favorite examples of this is Christopher Young's score to the original Hellraiser, which I think is one of the most underrated horror themes ever. Check it out. Another great example of that droning bass note with a melody moving on top of it is the theme from Saw, Hello Zep. So I'm a huge John Carpenter fan. I think he might be the best director in horror history, as well as one of the best composers, without a doubt. One simple trick that he uses that we can learn from is to take a really cool idea and just move it all around the place. It's kind of the Metallica thing, you know? Metallica does that all the time with their riffs. They'll take an idea and then just move it up a step, or move it up a fifth, or whatever. John Carpenter does that all the time in his writing, especially evident all over the Halloween soundtrack and all its various themes. Here's a couple examples from that soundtrack to show you what I mean. You'll notice that really unusual understrumming technique I was using in that last one there, where you fret a note with the right hand as well as pluck that note. It's kind of strange, but I learned that from the amazing Josh Martin from the band Little Tybee, who's a crazy guitar player. Be sure to give him a follow. We can also hear that same moving theme idea that's sort of a signature of his on a soundtrack from The Fog. That's a great one to learn too if you want to improve your finger style or picking technique. An element that's been present in a lot of these different things we've talked about so far is dissonance, which makes sense, obviously. Something that sounds ugly is going to naturally sound kind of spooky. And there's examples of horror movie soundtracks that use all the nasty intervals to great effect. The theme from Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, is way underrated. It's so iconic and recognizable as soon as you hear it. And it's got all the nasty intervals in it. It's got your major 7. It's got your flat 5. As well as like a minor third. As well as a major third in it. It gives it this really unpredictable, like irrational sound to it. Really cool when used in context. Check this one out. In addition to some of the theory or conceptual benefits you can get from learning these tunes, a lot of them are just great technical exercises too, especially for working on your fingerstyle guitar playing. Check out the cool counterpoint and moving bass stuff that we hear on the theme from Candyman. If you want something a little bit more approachable to work on your fingerstyle playing, you should check out my arrangement for the Addams Family theme, which is really fun. If you're working on your right-hand chops this spooky season, I recommend checking out my cross-picking arrangement of the theme from Suspiria by Goblin. I freaking love Goblin. They've done stuff that's like right up there with John Carpenter in my opinion. And they even do a tour where they go around and play the soundtrack to the movie live while they display the movie behind them. It's amazing. If you ever get the chance to do it, I definitely recommend it. I've seen them do that with Suspiria and Demons, and I think one other one. It's always super sick, and then they come out and do a whole nother set of other Goblin themes from movies, as well as some covers. Like last time I saw them, they did Tubular Bells from The Exorcist, and it was insanely great. But it doesn't have to be all this crazy, tapping and fingerstyle and cross-picking jazz. Some of these are just really fun, like the arrangement that I did of the theme from The Munsters. So there you go, guys, a look at some of the most awesome themes from horror movie history and what we can learn from them here on the guitar. Be sure to check out the Patreon page and grab tabs for all of those. It's going to be a whole lot of material I got to dig up, but might as well have it all in one place. So head on over to patreon.com/BenEllerGuitars. Grab those, and if you want the links to all of these videos, I'm going to be putting those down in the video description. That way you can just go straight to the one that you want to check out. Hope you guys are having a good Halloween season. This is my favorite time of the year, and it's always fun to find an excuse to talk about some of this stuff on my channel. Let me know if you guys have seen any really rad horror movies that I should be checking out down in the comments section. I think the last really cool one that I saw was Bring Her Back. Man, that was messed up. Really, really heavy movie, kind of like Hereditary adjacent. So leave yourself enough time afterwards to watch a few of the Bob's Burgers Halloween episodes. Nice little palate cleanse. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications every time I upload a new slice of fried gold. And as you go through the week, keep a good thought, do something good for somebody, make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. Now get away from the computer machine, grab that guitar, start picking on some spooky stuff. Let's click it. More picking.